As I mentioned before, a product manager works with various teams and aligns the various functions to achieve a common business strategy. So let's look at what are the teams that product managers work with and understand their hierarchy as well. As I mentioned, product managers work with UX, design, marketing, sales, technology to achieve customer satisfaction. There is one product paradox, however, that I want you to understand. We say that the product manager is the CEO of the product, but unlike the CEO, the product manager does not have people reporting into him directly. Coordination with other teams therefore becomes imperative. Let's now understand how these structures work in the different teams. Let's look at the technology team. The technology team is the single most important team a product manager deals with. Now, when you build a product, every product will have a certain number of engineers or technology resources assigned to it. Now, let's understand how this works in terms of a structure. At the top of the pyramid is the CTO or the Chief Technology Officer. The CTO is responsible for all aspects of technology related items. Below the CTO are a group of directors. These are the directors of engineering, responsible for individual verticals in technology. Third is the layer of the engineering manager. The engineering manager manages a group of developers, which includes tech leads. Then you have a tech lead and a developer. As a product manager, you would largely be interacting with the engineering manager or a tech lead who manages or heads your group of developers. Therefore, maintaining excellent relationships with the engineering manager and the tech lead is imperative. Now let's move on to the next team. The next team is basically your design and UX team. This is the team that is responsible for translating your product vision into design. And this also means that if your product is extremely simple to use, it's a product that's extremely addictive, that's probably the responsibility of the design and UX team. This is a fairly simpler team in terms of hierarchy, with a head of design and UX having people who report to him. As a product manager, generally you will interact with both sets of people. The third team. This is a very interesting team actually, which is the QA team or the quality assurance team. What this team does is it captures and is responsible for the quality of the product. So let's consider the case wherein which an engineer works on a small product feature, and before taking this product feature live, this particular team goes and studies the feature. It sees whether if introducing this feature will bring in any bugs into the system. It sees whether if the product feature has been developed as per the request of the product manager. Therefore, this team is actually the last stop in your organization to evaluate if the product that has been ready is good enough to be deployed to the audience that is there. The team structure here is also fairly simple, and overall responsibility for the QA team generally happens live with the Chief Technology Officer. This team is often, this team often has issues with the engineering team and are at loggerheads with each other, generally as a practice. Then there are three other small teams that you may have to work with. One is your marketing and sales team. This is to identify, what are the product features that need to be marketed. Your legal team. As a product manager, you may have part of your responsibilities would be to see are there opportunities for patenting. In some instances, your opinions may be sought on issues pertaining to litigation. On a very small level, even issues concerning contracting, etc. are things which the product manager may have to deal with. And last, you may have to deal with the finance team. This is generally to ensure that the product spends are within the budgets that have been allotted for the product.